What's up, everybody? It's your boy Rich Secrets, and as you can see in the description today, we're going to be talking about exactly on things that you would have to change if you want to get rich this year or even further beyond. Okay, if you want to be able to get rich between this year or near in the future, okay, we're going to be talking about some of the things that I feel like personally that the top 5% people use and what they do on the daily and also their mindset. Okay. So we're gonna hop on all of that on what I feel like the average entrepreneur should apply to their business, okay, or to their self. All right. Now, before we go ahead and get started with this video, make sure you go ahead and hit that like and that subscribe button. That way you'll be updated every time your boy drop a fire video. All right. Let's go ahead and get on to it, okay? So the first thing I feel like we need to talk about, and this is the first thing that I feel like everybody needs to hop on. Any entrepreneur, even if you're working at a job right now, it does not matter. You need to know that you will not be able to get rich. I hate to say it, but you will not be able to get rich if you do not first change your mindset. All right. First, it starts with your mindset. Okay. Now you have a negative and a positive way to think, right? In every way of life, you have a positive and a negative way to think. So when we're going in the field of business and we want to be able to get rich, the top 5% of people do not ask themselves what they cannot do. All right? They do not constantly go over with themselves on, hey, listen, I won't be able to do this, or I don't have money. All right? I don't have this, I don't have that. They don't really focus on what they don't have. They try to focus on more of what they can get or where they're going, right? They don't too much focus on what they have, because if they focus on what they have, then they'll be focusing on the negative side, right? But with the majority, what the top 5% of rich people actually do is they focus on where they're going, what they can do, their path, all right, which is a positivity role, right? They're thinking of more on, okay, I'm not going to say I can't do this. How can I do this, right? How can I be able to apply this? I know that some people have strengths and weaknesses, right? And one of my weaknesses, I'll give you guys one of my weaknesses, right? One of my weaknesses was reading at first, right? That was one of my weaknesses. I could not be that person that go through a book, right? A physical book, open it up and read. Literally, I couldn't read 6 pages out of that book, right? No matter what book, I don't care if it's Cat in the Hat, I cannot go through 6 pages or 5 pages of that book and literally read it to myself, right? I just can't do that. I'll get bored. I'll close the book. Just not me, right? Now, I could have been the person that had said, okay, I can't read, right? I can't read that well. So I could just let go of these books. I don't have to read these books at all to be able to get the knowledge that's inside the books. So if you really want me to be honest, the secrets are within inside the book. All the knowledge that you need would be inside a book. The only problem is most people get the books, they read them, and they don't apply the information that is inside the books, right? But the whole point is that I didn't let that stop me, right? I didn't say, hey, listen, I can't read well, so I don't need to be getting these knowledges inside this book. I can't get the knowledge inside the book. Instead of that, I tried to find a way around it, right? How will I be able to read these books, right? Okay, I can't read them just like this, right? I can't read them to myself and I can't read the whole book like that, right? So how can I get a way around it, right? And my way around it was getting the books read audio to me, right? So every book that I had, I literally made sure that it had an audio side to the book, to where somebody is literally talking and narrating the book, right? They're talking and about the book, and I'm sitting right there listening, and I can do that probably about, instead of like 6 pages, I could probably go over something like 50 pages, all right? With somebody else going over it, and I could pay attention better. That's just me. I don't know how everybody else works, but the whole concept is just finding a way around it, all right? The point is, do not think of what not is possible. You need to think about at all times what is possible, okay? And another thing, right? The next thing we want to hop on, right? Now, that was mindset, going over mindset, of course. Make sure you keep everything positive. Everything should be on a positive plane, all right? Now, I know it's hard for some people to be able to stay positive all the time, but you have to understand that you have to be able to, and I feel like one of the most important things is to find the most positive things is look at the good in your life, right? Look at what do you have going in your life. Don't look at everything that you don't have or everything you don't have going, but instead look at all the good things that you do have going. I don't care if it's not that many things. Look at those good things and focus on those good things, and also focus on where you're going, where you're headed, okay? We don't need to be focused on anything in the past. We need to be focused on where we're headed, all right? Next thing, like I said, another thing that rich people make sure that they apply, right? You have to make sure that you can read all the books and you can consume all the information from me, right? You guys can get all the YouTube videos you want to, and etc. All the knowledge, it's so much knowledge to be consumed today. It's crazy, all right? It's overwhelming how much knowledge it is to be able to consume today. But the whole point of the information is for you guys to take action on the information, right? Not to just have the information inside your brain and nothing's moving, nothing is acting on it, right? I give people an example a lot. Like if I go out, right? If I'm planning on being into the basketball league, right? And you have two different people, right? You have both of these two people want to be able to go to the basketball league. You have one person that reads all about basketball, how to dribble a basketball, how to do etc., how to do a layup. They read every single thing about a basketball. And then you have another person that literally doesn't read anything, right? But they go out, all right? They go out and they start dribbling the basketball, right? They dribble that basketball and they start practicing every single day. Which one of these people do you really think are going to have a better chance at getting to the league? The person that actually got out there and took action and start practicing and start actually going through the motion, right? So we have to know that the best experience, right, is that's what I was about to say, yeah. The best lesson is experience, okay? All right? So we have to know that the best lesson that we can ever get is going to be during the experience. So in the moment of actually applying that action, right? I didn't start seeing results to my things, right? I started knowing about LLC and started knowing about Airbnb, but I didn't actually start getting results and getting out into the field until I actually stepped out the porch, all right? I didn't start seeing results, or I didn't even start having failures. That's the next thing we want to talk about. I didn't even start having failures when I first jumped out, right? So it was like when I started having failures, right? It was like, well, geez, I can stop right now, but I already put myself in that motion. Like, I'm not gonna quit, right? I'm thinking on the positive side. So this failure is experience, right? This is a lesson learned, okay? Every failure that I have ever went through was a lesson learned. And throughout those lessons, I learned to become a better person, right? And that's ultimately what you guys will be able to do within your field of entrepreneurship, all right? As you're going out, you're gonna notice that you're gonna take failures, right? But it's how you take those failures, right? Do you take those failures and then you set back and then you stay stuck? Or do you try to push past those failures, right? To where, hey, these failures cannot break me. Nothing cannot break me, all right? The only thing that can break me is if I die. If I completely cannot stop moving, right? I cannot use my brain, right? That should be the only reason, that should be the only thing that should be able to stop you, all right? Next thing, all right, is failure, right? We just hopped a little bit on failure. The top 5% of people, all right, out in this world, right? They know how to handle failure. They know that failure is coming. I feel like that the difference between the average person and a rich person is the rich person is not afraid to take risks, right? And by risks, I mean they are not afraid to fail. All right, they are not afraid to fail. They're not afraid to put their money in something and lose all of it. Why? Because they think on the positive side. They don't think on the negative side. When they're investing their money, they think, hey, listen, what if I invest this $5,000 and I'll be able to make $50,000 with this $5,000? They don't think, hey, listen, if I invest this $5,000, hey, listen, I might lose it. I might lose it. And they thinking all up on the losing side, like, hey, I might lose. Because you know what? What happens is when they start thinking, hey, so much of, man, I might be able to lose this money, man. I might not be able to get it back and this and that. And they start thinking negative and they don't do it, right? You don't go after it. And that's not the point. That's the whole point of taking action with these things, right? Because when you take that risk, right, whether whether it succeeds or whether it fails, it is a lesson learned. Because if I succeed at it, right, that's a lesson learned. I learned how to I learned how to turn $5,000 into $50,000, right? All right. If I lose that $5,000, I have learned that is not the right move to make. So I need to make another strategic move, all right, better than the last one I made, so I can be able to make money the next time. All right. That will be the whole goal. And most rich people understand this concept. All right. They understand that they have to go through failures, ups and downs. But it's just when that down period comes, what do? Do they stay stuck down there, or do they stay at that mindset of, hey, I know I go down, but it ain't far until I go back up, right? It ain't far until I go back up. And that's the main thing we need to recognize, is that you are unbreakable, all right? You are unbreakable. That's serious. That's literally, nothing cannot break you. All the obstacles that come to you throughout this world, all right, cannot break you, because they are ultimately meant to stop you. All right, they're ultimately meant to stop you. Like I tell people, you have a goal, right? What you do is you have a goal. This is your goal point, right? And you have a straight line to your goal, right? The only problem with that is as you focus your energy on that goal and you're gravitating towards that goal, the world makes sure that you're distracted, right? We have so many distractions in the world, right? So the world is going to make sure that you get distracted as you're getting gravitated towards it, because you got television, you got girls, you got ladies, you got all type of different things that are going on, right? You got all type of different things that are going on to distract you from getting to this goal, right? But ultimately, that's why they tell you, if you focus all your energy on something, right, you're going to notice that you just start gravitating towards it, right? Because your energy is focused on it. You're on that right frequency, right? And this is where you're going to be headed. Now, those are going to be the main things that I feel like the top 5% of rich people do out on this world. And that's one thing that I really feel like you guys can keep from keeping yourself poor or in the middle class of this year. All right. If you want to be able to get rich, and if you want to be able to get, if you want to be able to get rich and you want to be able to really be able to have generational wealth with your family and be able to succeed in life, you have to make sure you have these combination of things that I just got done giving you guys, because these are very detrimental when it comes to being an entrepreneur. You got to be able to know these things, and you got to be able to, really be able to instill these things inside of you. That way nothing can be able to break you. All right. Now, that is going to be it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed that information. If you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe and like to your boy channel. That way you'll be updated when I drop a new video. I'm going to be helping you guys out all 2022, and we're going to be growing and expanding your business. All right. It's your boy, Rich Secrets, and we out.